Hello everyone, George here, and we're back again working on Toejam Earl in VR. And the last one we had done some colorization of our objects, or texturing I should say. So we're going to continue with that really fast just so we can finish things off. As you can see in our scene right now, we've got some nice grass, we've got some rock, and we need those the diagonal elements to also have something similar to that. So we're going to really quick go ahead and finish that up. And then we might dive into doing something a little bit more interesting like the sign, which I would like to have every other light actually blink on and off back and forth over time. So we'll do a little bit of scripting in that area too. So let's dive on in and see what we got to do. That being said, it looks like the top of this thing is pretty much just unfolded flat out like this, as you can see here. So we're going to be doing the same thing. Now let's take a look at the bottom. Now the bottom has been cut up into several different pieces, chunks, and then kind of just left to do their own thing. So why don't we go ahead and hide this now and Shift H to bring back that object. And let's go up here to the top, right click, grab, grow selection, grow. We're going to grow that selection all the way up. We're going to do a planar, straight down, Y, and then we are going to make cuts on each of these corners really fast. So corner, 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 cut, cut, cut. Cut, right click, UV shell, unfold, unfold, and then we've kind of got something, but it's really not what we want perfectly. So can we instead do some optimizations on this object? Optimize isn't really doing it for us. Can we instead, let's see, can we go to the UV mode and then straighten our UVs? So first of all, let's also go ahead and, before we do that, we should probably orient this. So that's a little bit better. And then let's go ahead, now that we've done that, grab our UVs, and can we now straighten the UVs on this object? Much better. Now that they've been straightened, what happens if I do an unfold? It goes back to the way it was, which is not what I really want. Unfortunately, some of our unfolding isn't perfect here. You'll notice we've got quite a bit more area on that side than, say, some of the other sides. And in reality, this should have been, well, I guess it is what it is. So why don't we go ahead and lay this out and go ahead and put that in there. There we go. And that's going to be pretty much fine for us. That should be fine for the top. Now let's see really quick what kind of materials we're dealing with. So we have grass top, and we have edit, delete by type history, and we have a Fong 1. Now on the original object, let's bring that back. We have a landscape grass horizontal 4x4. So let's copy that name. Right click on this, create a new material, make that a Fong material, and then go here, landscape, grass, horizontal, and this should be diagonal, I guess. That one, slanted, I guess is actually what I'm calling it, slanted, 4x4 M, there we go. Now what do we call the rock bottom? The rock bottom is called landscape rock bottom, horizontal 4x4. Might as well go ahead and grab this now and assign a new material. Make it a Fong, plop that there, and then turn this to slanted, enter, save that, and we can go ahead and finish things up. So why don't we go ahead and do a UV planar straight down from the top. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. I'm grabbing you, sir, and we're going to do a planar on you, straight down from the top, best plane, and then we're just going to slice this up just like we did before into 4 separate pieces, there, there, and there. And we can go ahead and just finalize that really quick. Grab each of these segments here, cut, unfold, and then we'll do an orient on the 3 of them. Now all we need to do is lay these out. So let's go to layout, UVW, go ahead and hit apply. Let that figure itself out after a few moments. Hit close, save. And now we just have to export this object out. So file, export selection, and we're going to take this to our FBX folder. And then we have landscape horizontal. This will be landscape slanted. Enter. And now we just need substance painter. And if I was smart, I will have saved what we used in the last one so that I don't have to try to remember what any of my settings were. And fingers crossed that I didn't just, throw it away and not leave it as a smart material. Okay, so here we go. Let's go to new. PBR is fine. Go 2048, because why not? We'll do landscape slanted, hit OK. We will then go ahead and bake this. Now, it's looking like there's some problems with the geometry. Do you notice this section right here? and this section right here down the center. So part of me is wondering if that has something to do with the vertices. So I'm going to go back over here, grab all the vertices, and just merge those verts. Again, make sure that things are combined. And I'm also going to grab this object, go to Mesh Display, and do Soft Harden Edges. Now that is giving us some kind of nastiness on it, so I think I'm going to go ahead and do Hard Edged on all of these. Now that's not exactly perfect now, is it? So let's try that again. Let's soften and harden and put this down to something like 45. Now even there we're getting some nastiness going on with the normals here and there, but it's not too bad. Now that we've done that, why don't we go ahead and re-export this object out and bring it back in again. And File, Edit, Project Configuration, Select, Slanted. There really should just be a refresh button. That would make things a little bit easier. And it looks like that fixed some of our problems, so that's great. Now, why don't we go to our smart materials, and if we were smart, which I don't necessarily believe we were, we might have this already saved out. If not, I'll have to open up the old one and save that out. So let's go ahead and save this really fast and save this as slanted. Okay, and let's go ahead and File, Recent Files, and Horizontal, and there it is. So we're just going to go ahead and grab Landscape. Let's see, do we have this on here? Landscape? No, we don't. So let's go ahead. Looks like we have Toejam Earl Landscapes right here. It looks like it's got both the materials inside of it, but we never did anything really with it. So let's just make sure those are in there. Let's see, is there there is a Toejam Earl Landscape. Great. So let's go ahead and go back to our other file, and we'll save, and then we'll find Toejam Earl Landscape, plop that down as a layer, and then grab the next layer and plop that down as a layer as well. And we're going to go to our texture settings, bake our mesh maps really fast, bake them all, and let it do its thing. Okay, now that that's all over, all we have to do is jump into each of our layers and turn on the appropriate layer. So that's going to be the appropriate layer for that one, and this is going to be the appropriate layer for that one. And it's just that simple. Really nothing else we need to do. So we can save, File, Export Textures, Browse, find the right folder for all this nonsense, create a new folder, Landscape, Slanted, 4x4, enter, select the folder, make sure that we have the correct one on, which is my Unity 5 occlusion, and hit escape, or export, excuse me. All right, that's all finished. We can open it up, make sure it's all okay. That looks good to me. Minimize that for the moment. And now we can export this asset back out to Toejam Earl. So we can go ahead and go to Game Exporter, and this will be slanted. And we just need to make sure this is in the right place. So we're going to go to our Assets folder. And actually, that's the wrong Assets folder. We want the one for Toejam Earl, Assets, Models, Terrain, and then 4x4 slanted. Just making sure that this is what we want. That's the collider. We want this one. And actually go back up, Terrain, choose that folder, and hit export. Go ahead and say yes. That sounds fine. Let's go ahead and grab our textures now and copy them. Whoops. Undo that. Let's just do a straight up copy. And then go back to our folder, Assets, Models, Terrain, Textures, and paste these in here. Go back. Now we have materials. We have the bottom and we have the horizontal one. We're going to have to extract those materials when we come over into Unity. So there we go. Gave it a moment to figure itself out. Now once again, the size on these objects is completely wrong. I'm not exactly sure what's going on now, why they've decided to do this. But let's find the actual asset really fast. And here's a slanted one. We're going to turn off Use Scale Factor, hit apply. I want to see what happens. Now if we click on one of these slanted elements, the scale is 111. So I'm not sure why it's doing that. So if we do 0.01 and hit apply, they fly on down to their proper size. So I thought we had set everything up properly, but I guess not. So let's go ahead to our materials. We're going to extract those materials, stick them in the materials folder, select folder, and that should be it. Now all we need to do is go into our materials folder and then set it up with the right ones. First of all, we're going to make sure we crank that up to white. Second of all, we're going to lock that. And then let's go ahead into our textures folder and start dragging and dropping these into the appropriate places. So we've got horizontal, rock bottom, we have slanted. So slanted albedo, slanted metallic, slanted normal, whoops, fix, and slanted occlusion. Now we can jump into the other texture, which will be rock slanted right there. Lock onto that, change it as well. Then go back to our textures and find our rock and our slanted metallic, normal, fix, and then finally occlusion. Great. All right, now we just need to make sure that the materials are actually associated with the object, which they are currently not for some reason. So let's go ahead and let's find the original object really fast. So we have landscape, horizontal. Let's unlock this in the editor. Just look at the materials really fast. Make sure it's working properly. Now it looks like we just lost our associations on all the slanted pieces here. So if we go back in here and open these up really fast, so then we have grass top and grass bottom, and it looks like material 1 is missing for this. So if we go ahead, and this is going to be a little tedious because we didn't make, did we make prefabs of these? Looks like we did. So let's go ahead and do a missing material and do landscape slanted. This is the grass top. Then go to rock bottom, and then landscape rock bottom slanted as well. And then let's go ahead and hit apply and apply. Just make sure that those get applied to all of the other ones. And there we go. Now we've got everything kind of textured up. So we've got a beautiful landscape, a beautiful world that we can start creating now that doesn't look like just a bunch of gray tones. Okay, now that being said, I think I want to, we're only 13 minutes so far, so why don't we work on this sign instead? Let's find some reference material for the sign first. So Toejam Earl ship piece. And there we go. So it's a big old purple sign with some arrows and then lights all around it. Not too complicated at all, which is nice. And then there's the actual ship piece, which normally you don't know what piece it is, but in our case, we're going to make it so you actually get to see it. So let's go back to Maya, close this on out, save, file, and let us go ahead and find the ship piece. Let's go to scenes, and this is Toejam Earl. Why is Balloon Boy in Toejam Earl? I do not know. Let's go to, let's see, we have ship piece, elevator. I think it's going to be ship piece is what we want. Great. So now we just need to unwrap this stuff. Unwrapping should be relatively easy, I think. So if we go to face mode, we can go over here, grab all of these faces up here. I just want to make sure I unselect anything else really fast. And then we are going to go ahead and grow selection, grow, and grow that all the way. And we're going to do a UV planar map. We're going to come at this from the Z axis, hit apply, and there we go, pretty. Now, are the bottoms of these exposed or not? Because that's a lot of extra polygons that we might want to get rid of. It looks like, unfortunately, we did leave the bottoms. So why don't we come at this from the top, zoom out a little bit, and go to shading X-ray mode. And then what we're going to do is just grab this little tiny tuft right there. Now with that, we should have the backs of all these objects selected. Let's just go inside and take a look. Now, unfortunately, we also have this back, so we've got to unselect that as well. Now we can go ahead and hit the delete key. Now this should make it so that these all unwrap far better. So why don't we go ahead and unfold each of these. And then let's go ahead and orient each of these shells. Great. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take every other one and put them on opposite sides, I think. So we're going to take you, 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 you. Watch, we're going to end up with, we're going to end up with a weird number here. So we're just going to take those ones right there. Or we could do something like this, I suppose. Still going to end up with a, it's fine. We'll do all of these. We'll take these ones, and all these will get put together, and all these ones will get put together separate as well. So the way we're going to do this is I'm going to grab everything really fast. I'm going to grab just these elements here, and I'm going to lay them out. Hit apply. I just want to get these as like a brick of elements. And we're going to do the same thing to these ones. Great. Now they're at least kind of condensed into each of their own little packages here. And then the next thing we're going to do is the sign itself. So all we got to do really for the sign is make a few cuts. So we can just cut the front and the back off from each other. So that should be no problem whatsoever. So make, actually, you know what we're going to want, before we even do that, we're probably going to want to grab the whole thing, UVs, planar, come at this from the Z axis again, Z or Z axis. I like saying Z for some reason, I don't know why. It's the thing that I've been saying lately. I've been saying Z my entire life. Make some changes. Cut, unfold, unfold. So we've got the back piece, and then now we've got the side pieces. So both of them orient a little bit better, I guess. Not great. Now we've got, we've got the column, which is currently missing a bunch of pieces. So that's not good. In fact, yeah, that's really not good. Looks like when I made a selection, I accidentally cut out a bunch of the column as well. So let's see if we can't heal this column really fast. So there's that selection there. And let's go ahead and mirror this. We'll do a copy. We'll combine them along the vertices, and we want to do this in the Z direction. And then I guess we'll do it in world space, hit apply. Now that's not perfect, because you notice that that little area right there has been now sunken in. But you know what, let's see. Yeah, you know what, I think we're just going to have to go with that. It's not perfect, like I said, but I don't feel like redoing that. So we'll just let it be. And actually, by doing that, we have completely screwed everything up. So we're going to go back and maybe we should go all the way back to the beginning. I think we are. I want to see how far back I can go. So I can only go back. That's about as far back as I can go, unfortunately. Now, if I didn't save this scene, we can reload it up. And there we go. So that's fixed. So the first thing we are going to do here. Oh, wait a second. Nope. Oh, that's not good. Now I've really messed it up, haven't I? Oh boy. Well, everyone, there you go. Can we go back to history? Is there going to be any history on this that we can manipulate? And can we remove? Can we delete this? Not what I wanted to do. Can I not do this? Can I pick a different... See, if I can do this, then technically I should be able to delete this. Can I go to the input nodes and modify them directly? I thought I could. Hold on. Delete input from channel box, Maya. In the shape editor, select the shape, select the delete icon. Well, that's not what I want. Do not agree. How do you delete one input from the channel box? Maya Reddit. Select input, edit, delete node in the channel box. Select the input. Select the input, edit, delete. That didn't work. Select the input, edit. Just need, oh, what about up here? Edit, delete node. There we go. Edit, delete node. Hey! Can I hit the G key now? Yes, we can. And how far back can we go? Ooh, look, we can go back all the way to the beginning. All right, so we just found out something new, and we saved it, and we kept everything good to go. So now let's be a little bit more careful in what we're doing. And you know what I am going to do probably is we're going to select everything really fast. And this was called ship piece sign. I want to separate everything out again into separate objects really fast, just to make things a little bit easier. That way I can do quick selections like this and not worry about things kind of messing up all over the place. And actually, you know what? We did run into that situation where the top had one not quite enough, or one too many. One way you want to, either way you can look at it really. And actually, let's grab all of these and then modify center pivot. And now we're just going to make a little bit of space, I think, for this extra one that we're going to stick in really fast. Once again, doesn't have to be perfect. Just need a little bit of wiggle room here. Control D, place that one right there. And yeah, there we go. That's fine. Now let's grab these. Oh, the backs are still bad. So why don't we go ahead and, you know what? We'll fix the backs in a minute. Let's grab all of these first and just do a, should we just merge them together or not? Or leave them separate? I'm not exactly sure the best way of handling this. I feel like merging them all together is going to be fine. It's a good start to how to do this. And then let's take this and hide that. And then let's hide everything actually, except for these. And that way I can come at this from the side and grab the backs, hit delete, do a UV planar, come at this from the Z-axis again. Once again, unfold, unfold. And then let's just do a orient as well. And then now we just need to grab every other one. Okay, move these ones off to that side and move these ones off to another area. Save that very quickly. And then let's start bringing back elements that we hid. So the sign now, we can mess with that. So this is one, let's go to edit, delete all by type history really fast. So we've got this thing again. And let's just make some, let's UV it up really quick. So we'll do a planar, apply, and then we'll do some edge cuts. Do some cutting, do some unwrapping, unfolding, and it looks like I missed a side. So I guess it would be right there. Unfold, and let's orient them. Bring back this piece, planar that, and once again we're just going to chop, chop, chop until we're all done. Now this goes up into this one, so we can either be we can either do it the painful way, like I'm doing it right now, or we could have hidden something. But we're going to do it the painful way, I suppose. Unfold that, orient, just move that off to the side, and let's go ahead and grab the next element. Shift H, and actually let's just take this one, and let's see if we can't. Can we transfer the attributes? They're pretty close to each other. So let's go to modify or mesh, transfer, hit apply, close, and it looks like that worked out for us, or did it not? Looks like it didn't. Oh wait, there we go. And that's one. I guess the backside didn't come off, so let's grab that really quick and do a UV planar, pull that off, grab the whole thing now, unfold, unfold. Whoa, that did not work. Okay, so you know what? We're just going to treat them as two separate ones. It's not going to take very long for us to fix this anyway. Hit the G key again, pull that off. Orient, save, okay, so now let's do this little column thing, which is now not a mess like it was, and we're going to do a UV, we're going to do a planar coming at it, And then we're going to chop off the top. So why don't we make our life a little easier, bring out our modeling tools, and just do a selection constraint of angle, 2 degrees, grab the top, grab the bottom, UVs, planar this in the Y direction, hit apply, and move this off to the side. Now I just need to make a cut, so I can unfold this. I'm going to make that cut probably right up along one of these spots here. So like there. Ooh, and that's a problem. We still got this angle thing going on. So let's see if we can't make this easier. So there's that, and there's that, and there's that. So let's go ahead and make our slice, and let's see what we get by doing that. And that's actually not so bad. Let's orient it, and then let's rotate this thing a little bit. And then let's see if we can't optimize it a little bit better. And let's go ahead and orient it again. And that's pretty good considering what we've got going on there with geometry. And that's it for the entire sign at this point. So what we can do is go ahead and grab our pieces and merge them all back together as the main ship piece. Let's go ahead and delete everything by type. Ship piece sign, right? Let's just make sure we're naming it the same thing. So this should be ship piece sign. Good. Okay, so now all we need to do is kind of wrap all this stuff up. And the way we're going to do this is in pieces. So let's grab all that really fast, go to layout, layout UVW, and let's go ahead and hit OK. And let's see what we get. Okay, so that's all that laid out. Now, I'm trying to think if I want to separate the lights by material, because we could change the emissivity of each of these if we give them 2 separate lighting materials. It's really up to us, or we could just swap out the entire texture, although I think that's probably slightly more wasteful if you think about it. So we should probably grab all of you, move you out of the way, and go ahead and lay these ones out in their own space. Now, are these still all the same object? I did merge them together, right? So I think what we're probably going to do then is we can either separate them out as their own object and put them under a group, or we can handle things differently. What I think I'm going to do is separate them out into their own objects, actually. I'm going to do the same thing with this group down here. Whoops. Let's go ahead and do this. So now, we still got this group, which we're going to do a separation on again. So I keep going back and forth on what I'm doing, I'm sorry. Just trying to think of the best way to handle this situation. And if we come in here now and make a big old selection, I should be able to grab all of these and then merge those ones together and grab all of these and then merge. Let's see, it merged everything, didn't it? All right, in which case we can just do the following again. We'll merge those ones. We'll merge those ones. And we'll call this, so this will be ship piece sign. We'll move these underneath the sign. We'll open this up. Edit, delete all by type history really fast. These will be ship piece sign lights _01. Copy that. Paste this, 02. And then we've got the rest of everything, which we will then merge together, or we'll leave them, now we'll merge them together, it's fine. Edit, delete all by type history, move this one under here, ship, piece, sign, and column. Okay, there we are. So now we can go ahead, grab these, and lay them out properly. Great. And then we can do the same thing again with these ones and lay them out properly as well. Okay. Now we just need to make sure we have our materials. So we're going to do a material for this one. So let's grab that name, right click, assign new material, Fong, and _M. Grab the other one, right click, assign new material, Phong, and _M, and that should be a 1. And then grab this name and right click, and that is called ship piece sign, which I'm probably just going to let slide. So there we go. Now we got our ship piece. So file, export selection, take this up to Substance Painter next, and FBX, and what was ship piece sign? Ship piece sign. Enter. Go back to Substance, make sure we save this. Go to File, New, select, and ship piece sign, 2048, okay. Great. Okay, so let's go ahead and save this really fast. Ship piece sign, enter, texture settings, bake for all. Sounds like we've got some fireworks going on outside. Okay, so that's finished. Now, we just need to apply some textures. So I'm going to assume that this is a wood kind of texture. And let's go to normal materials. And let's just find something here. Let's make these bigger. And I want something that's going to be, you can do rotten wood or wood rough. Wood rough might be a nice one. Let's see what that would look like for ship piece sign. And then of course we'll do triplanar and we'll zoom in a little bit. And I think we're going to rotate this 90 degrees. Or we're going to duplicate it twice, which is what we'll do in a minute. But this needs to be a nice shade of purple, probably somewhere like that. And then maybe we'll put paint on top of this as well. That'll probably help a little bit with how this looks. So let's do a scale. Whoops, I want to crank that scale up just a little bit. And I'm also going to, of course, see, I don't want this here. I want this down here, please. Thank you. Much better. So, like I was saying, we need to add a black mask to this because we don't want everything covered. And then we are going to grab all of this stuff right here. Now, it looks like the posts are different. So let's go ahead and we'll make them like an aluminum or something like that. And let's do object. Or UVs. There we go. So that's better. All right, so then we've got this wood rough, but let's look up paint. There's a glossy paint. There's a thick stroke paint, which I like the idea of that. And let's go ahead and try planar again. And then we're also going to do, let's see. Let's do normal on this. Let's make this replace. And we'll do something a little high. We'll also do height, replace. We'll also make that so I want a little bit coming through. I don't want a lot, but I want a little. And we got the paint. So we have the paint color, which I'm trying to pull from over here actually. So let's see, can I do paint color, please? Color picker. So it does not like me picking from another monitor for some reason, which is kind of annoying. It shouldn't be too hard. We'll find the purple somewhere in there. There's the wall color, which we're also going to make a nice shade of purple. And then once again, I want to copy this mask and paste it here. So let's add a white mask and paste into mask. So now we've got this kind of texture going on with it. Now this, I think, is a little bit too big. So we're going to do something like that. And I also think I want this to be a little bit more complicated. So let's do, now I have to remember how to do all this stuff. So do we want to fill? Do we want a generator? You know what, let's leave it as it is for the moment before we get too complicated. And let's concentrate on the other parts of this. So we're going to want to get rid of this from it as well. And we're going to want to do a column, which is going to be like porcelain or ceramic porcelain maybe. We'll grab that in there, add a black mask to that. Whoops, nope. Add a black mask to that. I need to get my skills back up using this program because I gotta tell you, I'm not doing so swell. Let's go back to materials. Been too much jumping around doing other things. Not enough time in front of the computer working on interesting stuff. So let's do a smart mask. And we're just going to kind of pull that down a little bit. I just want a little bit of that in there, I think. Okay, so that's that. So we have ceramic porcelain, which is just this part. We need a metal, not aluminum, but definitely a metal. So we have aluminum scratched. I think we need a steel. We have steel hardened and tempered, which might come out nice for what we're doing. So we're going to bring this down a little bit, add a black mask, and then we're going to select based on UVs, these two right here. And I think we're going to tone down the normals a bit on these. So let's just kind of tone this one down and go to height, tone that down a bit too, maybe even more. Okay. So there we go. We got our sign. Now we just need to deal with the lighting, and those are just glass bulbs. So we have, I think we're going to go with like a glass hammered kind of look. Trying to see if we can get a better, yeah, just to give it some kind of a texture. We're definitely going to do we're going to actually leave it as it is. We're going to increase the scale though. 9 is too much. It's almost like a golf ball. So maybe 6. Let's change it from super white to, let's find our yellows, bring it more into a yellow range, something like that. And we're also going to want to go to our texture settings, and we're going to want to add a emissive to this. So coming back over here now, we should have an emissive that we can mess with now. And now I'm trying to think how I want to handle this, because in Unity, in our textures, let's take a look at those really fast, our materials. We do have an emissive factor right here, and which we can just ramp up. And since we've separated everything out, we actually don't need emissivity on these objects. So let's go ahead and actually turn that off. Go back to our texture settings and get rid of emissive, because we'll be handling all that inside of Unity. Let's go ahead and just copy this layer and paste this in here. And there we go. Save, file. And let's go ahead and do a export textures and choose the right folder. Let's see, we need a new folder in here, and this will be ship piece sign. Select that folder, choose Unity 5 occlusion, export, open that folder up, because we'll need to copy these in a minute. Right click, copy. Actually, yeah, it's fine. Now we can go back to Maya, grab our object, go to file, export selection. And then we're going to want to, let's see, file. We can do send to Unity if we want to, or we can use our game exporter. I'm wondering if the game exporter is going to screw everything up again. Let's go ahead and choose, let's see, what was it? Ship piece sign, and hit escape. And that is a mess because of all of our pivots got changed, isn't it? So let's come back here really fast. WDX to the center, WDX to the center, WDX to the center. Then the entire thing, WDX, back to the center. Save, modify, freeze transforms, apply to everyone, close, edit, delete all by type history. Then let's do another export, hit yes, come back over here, and that magically fixed itself, luckily for us. And now let's go under our models again, and we have our materials, and we're probably going to want to be careful now. So we have materials, we'll do ship piece sign, extract materials, materials, select folder. We've got those set up. Now we can go to textures, and we'll create a new folder, ship piece sign, and show in Explorer, and paste. Let them load in. Now we've got all that. So we just need to find our material now and start assigning things. Let's first whiten everything up so it's not in that neutral state. Perfect. Now we'll select our stuff and start messing with it. So textures, ship piece sign. Now we'll go to our next material, and that's going to be U, and then our final material. All right, so with that, we've got our sign. set up, ready to go. I guess in the next video, we will cause the lights to flicker on and off, back and forth, to attract the player. You know, one thing we did forget to do is we didn't put arrows in. So that'll be something we'll eventually have to do. But for right now, this is looking just fine. I like it. Not a problem. All right, everyone. We're going on 48 minutes without editing. So I'm going to stop this here. I will see you all next time. So long and good night. Hi, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more, remember to subscribe and hit the bell if you want notifications about new videos I upload. And if you'd like to help even more, consider becoming a patron on my Patreon account. Links, as always, are in the description. See you next time. So long, goodbye.